Hey everyone, this is Chad with Welcome to WordPress, and today I'm going to be going over a quick review and tutorial of the SEO Smart Links plugin. Now, this is a really handy plugin for those of you who are taking the time to implement some interlinking on your blog, making sure that certain posts or pages are linking to and from each other. It's a really good way to increase activity on your blog. Somebody's reading a post, they can see a link to something else that might be relevant. It also really helps search engines when you do this because it gives them more avenues to dig deeper into your site and find other relevant content and index more of your pages. So it's a really good practice to get into, both again for your readers and for SEO practices. Before we get started with all the options, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little demo for you. You can see at the time of this recording, the most recent post I published was actually about this plugin, and the title is SEO Smart Links Plugin. Now I'm creating a new post here. I'm not actually going to publish this. It's just a little demonstration. You can see it's a pretty simple post. Just has one sentence and then a little ordered list here. This is in the HTML view, so if you're not familiar with HTML, that's what all these little tags mean. And this is just a list of a handful of plugins. You can see that one of them is the plugin we're talking about, and this line here exactly matches the title of the post I was just showing you. Now, because those two match, if I go ahead and publish, or in this case I'm just going to preview the post, when it pulls up the preview, the plugin actually steps in and creates that link there. You can see in the post, I don't have any link code in here, it's not set up to be a link, but the plugin is creating that link for me. So that's basically what the plugin will do. I'm going to go ahead now and show you the different settings on when it should and shouldn't do that, so you can have a little more control over it just creating links all over the place every time you mention the title of a post. Now, on the settings page, which you can access once you've installed the plugin and activated it, you can access the settings page under the settings module on your blog. From there, you're going to come in. It gives you a little overview of what the plugin does and then goes right into the different options. For starters, you have internal links. This is where you select what the plugin processes, whether it should look at posts or pages or comments, and on the posts and pages you can select whether or not you want those to be able to link to themselves. So if in a particular post you mention that post title, it'll link to itself if you check that box. Not something I do, but it is nice to have that option. You can uncheck any of these. You can, like I said, you can do comments. You can leave those off. You're going to have a lot of comments on your blog over time, so that might slow things down a little bit. And you may or may not want comments automatically stuck into your, links automatically stuck into the comments people are leaving on your blog. Totally up to you, but the option is there. Next, you have the excluding option here, which is basically where you can prevent the plugin from creating links inside your headers. When you have different headings and you use the heading 1, heading 2 tags in WordPress, when you're interspersing those throughout your article to break up the content and give it a little more structure, you may not want those to turn into links. The way links are styled in your particular theme might not look right as a heading, so that's really up to you whether you want those links to be there. Next, you can choose what the plugin uses as targets, whether you want it to be linking to posts, pages, categories, or tags. Now, the categories and the tags are going to require a little more processing through the database, so those might slow things down a bit depending on how large your blog is. But if you want it to link to pages or posts or whatever, you can choose that here. You can also select how many times a particular category or tag should be used. So if it's a tag or category that you've only used for one post, and you don't really want to consider that one, you can up this number here. So you could say, I only want to use tags and categories that have been used 5 times for at least 5 different posts. So that way you're only linking to the really popular ones on your site. The next setting is whether or not it should process only single posts and pages. This is really useful because you probably don't want a bunch of extra links on, let's say, your home page or a category page where it's showing anywhere from 5 to 10 or however many posts you have it set to show. So this way it'll only show it on an actual page or on a single post page where there's only one piece of content being displayed. You can also choose if you want the plugin to process your RSS feed. If you want it to go into your RSS feed and insert links in there just like it would with a blog post, that'll give people who are receiving your RSS feed more access to other posts in addition to the one that they're currently being notified of. And then another option that I personally really like is for case-sensitive matching. This one's really handy because you can see in the demo I did earlier, these letters are all capitalized, the S, the L, the P, etc. And here they're the same way. If I were to come in and decapitalize some of these so that it wasn't a case-sensitive match, I'll just show you this real quick, and then preview the plugin again. Preview the post again. Now that it's not a case-sensitive match, it no longer creates that link, which is really handy if you want to use this plugin but exercise a little bit more control. This way you know it's only going to link to a post if you take the time to capitalize it the way you did in the original post. Next, you have the ignore preferences. You can set posts and pages in this field and then keywords in this field of things you want to ignore or have the plugin ignore. For posts and pages, you can use the ID number. You can use the slug, which is the URL portion, or you can use the actual name of the post. And these are just going to be all the posts and pages that the plugin will not create links for. Next up, you can specify certain keywords where it will not create keywords on those phrases, even if those phrases match the title of a particular post. So it's basically two ways to accomplish the same thing. You can eliminate certain links from being created. Next up, you have custom keywords. You can enter in a bunch of keywords here and a URL to associate with them. You can check this box to prevent multiple keywords for the same link from being used. So if it finds, if you have 5 keywords for one URL and you use all 5 of them in a post for some reason, checking this box, it'll only create a link the first keyword it finds. It won't create 5 different links. On the topic of limits, you can also specify how many links you want per post. If you set 0, it'll be as many links as it can possibly come up with, or you can max it out at 4. This is so that if you happen to mention a lot of different posts or coincidentally say a lot of things that would trigger links for the plugin, you don't want your entire post to be nothing but a series of links. A, that's going to be annoying for your readers. B, too many links isn't a good idea from an SEO point of view. So that's just something nice to have in here. You can control how many links per post you wind up with. You can also limit the number of links that will be generated based on the same keyword. Again, 0 is no limit, and you can go as high as you want. So basically how many times it will link for a particular keyword to a particular site. The last option is for external links. These settings don't apply to just the links created by this plugin. They apply to all the external links on your site. So any link out of your domain name to an external site, you have the option to add a nofollow attribute. You also have the option to open it in a new window. So those are good ways to control your links going out of the site if you want to do that as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of different options in this plugin, a lot of different things you can do. I've used this plugin for a while. I'm a huge fan of it. I think using it responsibly and carefully, making sure it's doing exactly what you want it to do, because it does a lot and you may not want all those features. I don't use all the features that it has. I kind of trim it down to my own needs a little bit, but it really does do a lot. If I were going to add anything to this plugin, there would really only be one additional feature, and that would be an option to create links only within the category that the post is in. For SEO reasons, depending on how your blog is structured, you may or may not want to have your posts linking out to an article in another category. So adding that option in to have it check the post categories and only link to posts that are in the same category as the post that's currently being displayed would be handy. But who knows, maybe that'll come out in a future version. Definitely check out the SEO Smart Links plugin if you're considering automating some of your interlinking on your blog, and if you have any questions, I'd love to hear them in the comments.